What's a dead giveaway that someone is a piece of hit? They can't handle being wrong. When the rules apply to everyone except them. When they say, "UCK all my haters," when people are just giving them suggestions on how to be a decent human being. When you're having an argument with someone and they start saying things just to hurt you because they don't have a valid argument. Yeah, this one's personal. When they mock you for trying to lose weight or trying to improve yourself in general. For me, it has to be when they treat animals really poorly. They litter. They talk about cheating on their partner in a bragging way like it's something that makes them cooler. When they are rude to service people like waiters or cashiers. I think it shows a lack of empathy. Slicked back hair, white bathing suit, sloppy steaks. Bro, look at this. Shows a minor achievement I'm proud of. Oh bro, that's so easy, I literally did that like a million times. With all due disrespect, UCK yourself. Saying horrible things about people all the time. Why were you ashamed of yourself like never before? When I was 18, I started stealing money out of the register at the mom and pop store where I worked. I can't even tell you why I did it. I had never stolen even a candy bar before, but I started stealing large amounts of cash by falsifying refunds on the register. It went on for about a year, and then one day I was called into the office, where two detectives were waiting. I had stolen over $17,000 in a year. That wasn't the shameful part. The shameful part was telling my dad that I was being charged with 7 felonies, but that if he paid the grocery store back they would drop all charges. I don't know how he ever forgave me for this. He is the most honorable person I know, and the look of disgust on his face when I told him has stuck with me forever. And of course he paid them back for me. I am 31 now and have mostly paid him back, but it is still something that makes me really upset. I don't think I've ever forgiven myself for being so stupid. I was never the most patient person, and I despise being late for things. My wife, kids and I were going to walk down and hang out at a neighbor's house for the evening. They were taking forever and my wife kept stalling and we were going to be late. I yelled at all of them to hurry up and proceeded to be pissed off the whole walk down. When we walked in, it was a surprise party for me. She was delaying because they hadn't finished the decorations yet. Felt like a complete piece of hit. This was 10 years ago and it still bothers me. Definitely taught me to be a more patient person though. When I was 19, I fell for one of those fake check scams. My mom had to help me pay the bank $2,500. I've since paid her back, but I was so ashamed of myself. I had never broken down and sobbed so hard in front of someone. My grandmother was my favorite person in the world. Since I was a baby, she sent one real pearl at Christmas. When I was in my early 20s, she made them into a real pearl necklace. She passed away not too long after that. A few years later, I went to a school competition and lost that necklace. I still feel physically ill when I think about it. ETA. Y'all, thank you. So many supportive comments. To those of you who have had the same experience, big hugs to you. When I was growing up, I lived in a hoarder house, the yucky animal oop kind. I was a kid. I had no control over my environment, so I just had to keep a low profile to not draw attention of CPS. We were on government assistance and all that. A few instances come to mind. In high school, I was a lunch ticket kid, meaning I was on a program where I got free school lunches. On Mondays before first period, I'd go to the cafeteria to collect my week's worth of lunch tickets. It was always the same lunch lady who passed them out. One day, totally randomly, she passes me my tickets and says something to the effect that I was a leech and mooch on the system, griping how she works for her food, and I should, too? It was so weird and random I just didn't think to fight her on it. She was a grown-up, so she must be right? Second thing also happened in high school. I got called to the guidance office, and my guidance counselor handed me smoking cessation brochures and said if I wanted help quitting smoking, she could help. Thing is, I didn't smoke, at all. It actually grossed me out, and it still does to this day. My mom smoked in the house, and I guess I stunk so bad of cigarettes that someone filed a complaint to the school about me. If it's any consolation, I'm now an honest middle-class taxpayer. Please no hate. I mean, nobody wants to admit they ate 9 cans of ravioli, but I did. I'm ashamed of myself. The first can doesn't count, then you get to the second and third, fourth and fifth. I think I burnt with the blowtorch, and then I just kept eating. I did a bunch of drugs and drank a lot when I was younger. I ended up in the hospital as a result. I remember having to explain to the doctor all the drugs I took, how often, how much I drank. I knew I'd probably heard it all before and was just trying to understand my condition. I sincerely doubt he was judging me too harshly. Or maybe he was, who knows? Regardless, I just remember feeling immense shame when I was explaining that I basically hadn't given a UCK about myself for the last 13-ish years. That was a lonely place. Few years back went to visit my sister. At the time I reached at her home I had to pee really bad. I was so full I was walking funny. My sister, her husband and his mother came to greet me at the door. I said I need to use the toilet immediately and we all entered the house. Just then my little niece rushed from inside and hugged me. Her head hit my lower abdomen really hard and paid right there. I did stop as quickly as possible but I had a big wet patch on my pant. When I was a little kid, probably first grade or so, I remember being super mad at my mom for something that day. I was using a coffee can to trace for circles. I would then use the circles to make faces. Then I would color in the faces. I did them for my dad and my siblings and my teacher, then I did one for my mom. And when I was showing her, I took a red crayon and drew a big X across her face on the page. I was angry. I don't even remember why, but I will never forget the look on her face. It was like I destroyed her soul. She was just so defeated and sad. Not like a play sad. Like real sadness. Looking back at it with adult eyes, I am sure she was frustrated being a mom of multiple kids, on a one-income household. And there is no telling what was going on in her marriage at the time, plus that was about the time she lost her father. So I know it was a difficult time in her life and that she didn't need that kind of bullshit from me. So when I drew that X, I think I actually hurt her in some way. That was almost 40 years ago and it still makes me sham to think about it. It's funny how certain memories from your early childhood are burned into your brain and rest just disappear. Went to the bank and the lady who was helping me told me about a savings account I could set up and the benefits of it. Didn't really care about it, but she seemed nice, so I thought yeah sure, why not. She wanted to show how easy it was to do, so she asked to use my phone and do it, and I said sure. I just held my phone flat on my palm facing towards her while she went on Safari, and then boom. Ebony wants it in all 3 holes, with thumbnail big as uck on the screen because I forgot to switch from private to normal. She created a new tab really fast and done what she intended to do, and we both acted like she didn't see what she saw, but I died inside and couldn't stop thinking about it for the following days. What are some really dumb hobbies, mainly practiced by wealthy individuals? Paying to go see the Titanic. Buying an expensive car and then keeping it in your garage without ever actually driving it. Shooting a giraffe. Like bruh, it's just standing there next to the road. Giraffe. Even though I enjoy the taste, collecting ultra-expensive wine and not ever drinking it. Technically it can be an investment, but if they never sell it then it's not really an investment. IMHO. Collecting the same Rolex in different variations, and never wearing any because it's in a safe. Climbing Everest. I thought scream therapy was stupid at one time, but I think I am starting to understand it no more. I feel like this question was asked just to get the Titanic sub as a response. What is abusive, but not widely recognized as abuse? Not allowing your children to show unhappy emotions. Withholding life skills from your offspring to keep them insecure and dependent. Using guilt to manipulate the people closest to you. My grandmother, 99, can send my mom, 80, in toxic darkness with a swift and stinging comment. I hate to see it, and it is absolutely abusive. Parents that are super controlling and won't let their children make age-appropriate decisions. Calling your partner vulgar, offensive names in arguments. So many people believe this is normal couple behavior. Encouraging someone when they are having destructive behaviors. Putting the pressure of huge expectations on a child and then telling everyone that all of these dreams are the child's dreams even though they are obviously yours. Taking a kid's door. Privacy and control issues for life. Deny your kid any semblance of privacy, and they will become excellent at hiding things from you. It's a power play punishment, not an instructive one. At least not in the way parents hope. It's especially backward-headed when used as a punishment for hiding things from the parents. It reinforces that things must be hidden better. Not letting employees have a lunch break. Edit. Yes, it's illegal. My job requires constant monitoring, but it's a desk job so I don't care. I just eat and work at the same time. If it were any other job I would speak up. I'm also in the office completely by myself, which is nice. The silent treatment. What is the first thing you always do when you come home? Take off my shoes. Put my keys in the key bowl in the entrance so I don't lose my mind trying to find them. Edit BC. So many mentioned hacking the fob. We live in a locked apartment building. We park our car in a locked underground parking lot across the street, so it would be quite a feat for someone to try and steal our car. Too much trouble for any car thief. I think we are safe, don't worry lol. Open the refrigerator to save checkpoint. Change into my comfy clothes edit. I have never felt such solidarity with so many people until reading through these comments. Comfy clothes gang. Call me hand light skin tone, call me hand light skin tone, call me hand light skin tone. Usually take a big sigh of relief that I'm back home again.